What's up guys, I thought I'd check out another custom ROM for the Nexus 4. This one's called E.L.E, which stands for Extinction Level Event. You've got to agree with me, that sounds pretty damn awesome. And the ROM itself is actually really cool. So basically the ROM is kind of a mixture of all the settings from kind of Liquid Smooth, PA, CM, AOKP, Rootbox, and a few others, but it's put together really damn well and it functions beautifully. It has all the crate optimization, so you're going to get really good Antutu scores, and the performance, as you'd expect on the Nexus 4, is just excellent. Customization on this ROM is amazing. There is so much customization, and I'll also mention, you can see here that it has, by default, its own kind of theme, and you can kind of see that here. You can see the messaging app is different. It's got some dark theme to it. If I pull down the notifications here, you can see that that's not quite as transparent as before, and it's got kind of a black background. So there is kind of a theme going on here. If I open up some of the stuff like the dialer, you can see it there. And the People app, you can see it there as well. It's a lot darker than it normally is. So here we go, guys. Let's check out some customization. I'm going to dive into the settings here. And straight away, you're going to notice a big difference from any other custom ROM. It's set out quite a lot differently. You've got stuff like Home Launcher. You've got all your E.L.E controls here. And there is a hell of a lot, by the way. It comes with its own custom kernel that gets rid of MP decision, which is really nice because it's kind of sucks MP decision and takes up a lot of battery for no apparent reason. You've also got all your normal settings here like display and stuff like that, but it's just set out a little bit differently and it takes a little bit of time to get used to. But no, it's really good. So let's get into some of this customization, guys. Okay, guys, so we'll start off with Home Launcher here. So pretty self-explanatory. You can modify all your launcher settings. So on this ROM, you don't need to go ahead and install a custom launcher like, Nova or anything like that. It's already done. It's already built in. You've got all the options. If I click into home screen options here, you can change your grid sizes, home screens, default screens, get rid of the persistent search bar, change your transition effects. If you don't want a scrolling wallpaper, you can turn it off. You know, you've got all this really cool stuff and it's just right here. You don't have to install anything else. You've also got stuff in the app drawer. Again, transition effects. If you don't want the widgets to join with the apps, you can turn it off. You can hide apps. You can change the orientation. All this cool stuff. Now, let's click dock and see what we can do here. So we can change the number of pages in the dock. So we can navigate through the dock. So if I change this, for example, to 2, I'll show you what that means. We'll go back to home screen. It has to reload, obviously. And there you go. You can see there I can move the dock at the bottom so it can have more icons. A really nice feature. I like that. Let's dive into display options here. This is a really cool feature and I've come to like this on this ROM. Full screen mode. See, it hides the status bar to extend the home screen. Now, if I click it, you can see it hasn't hidden anything. Nothing's changed. It only takes effect when you're on the home screen. So if we go back, you can see it has to reload the first time, but the status bar is now gone. You've still got your nav buttons down here, but the home screen is there. So when you go into settings, the status bar will appear again and disappear when you go back to the home screen. So if you want a full screen home screen, you can have that. And it's definitely a feature that I haven't really seen in many other ROMs. So it's a cool one to have. Okay, guys, moving on to the actual ROM customizations. Now, there is a hell of a lot here, so I probably won't get through them all. But we'll start off with system interface options. Click into this. And here we go. So you can see you've got all these other options that have menus inside of them. So if I click device interface options, you can change stuff like custom carrier label, choose your notification background. So if you want a different background here, you can have a special picture or whatever the hell you want. You've got a notification background alpha, so you can make it more transparent. Show notification count. If you click this and have a notification, you'll get a 1 or whatever number of notifications you have. Status bar brightness slider, one of the favorites for custom ROMs. You can see here, as I move my finger to the right, the screen gets brighter, to the left, darker. A really cool feature that most custom ROMs have, but nonetheless, it's good to have it. Underneath here, you've got hide status bar, allow completely hide the status bar. So not great English there, but nonetheless, if you click it, it does get rid of the status bar and it's gone forever until you want it back. So I showed you in the other setting that you could hide it only on the home screen. If you want it gone completely, you can click it here and it'll go. Obviously, if you want it back, you can just untick it. Transparency settings, guys. This is the nav bar and status bar stuff. You can unlink them or you can link them and then pull the sliders down and they'll be transparent. A feature we've come to know on custom 4 ROMs. Moving down to nav bar, guys, you can see if we enable the kill all button, if you click that and go into your recents, you can see we now have a kill all button. Same with recents RAM bar. If you click that, you'll now see at the top how much RAM is used. So you've got a hell of a lot of options here. UI mode, So you can change, so if you want the phone to be like a tablet or a phablet mode, you can do that. I'm not going to bother showing you that because you pretty much know what it is. Custom boot animation, if you've got a special one you want to use, you can do that. And there's some other stuff here as well. We'll move on, guys, because there's loads to talk about. Lock screen options. Choose lock screen wallpaper, pretty self-explanatory. Lock screen text color, lock screen battery percentage, hide initial page hints, all this cool stuff. You can see what I mean by there's a hell of a lot of customization here, guys. It's ridiculous to really go through it all. I can't go through it all because it'll just take forever. Nonetheless, every option you can pretty much think of is here. You've got power menu options as well. So you can show navigation bar toggle, show torch toggle. You can do that straight from the power bar if you want. Nav bar options. So you want to change the color or different buttons, you can do that here. You can add buttons up to 5. Visibility, so you can change all this stuff. Move on. Like I said, the bar colors are here. You can add buttons here. So if I add a button, let's pick a button here, add 4, you can see a space appears. If you go here, you can add whatever the hell you want. So you can add kill app, and now we have a kill app thing there, which is the customization level is just ridiculous. You've got advanced settings here like the glow color, the navigation bar height, so you can make it smaller or larger. You've also got the nav button transparency. You can see the buttons get lighter or more transparent if I move this bar. Hidden nav bar, you can click that and it will hide your nav bar completely forever, which is, this, guys, is really cool. Watch. So you can see this kind of little thing down here now that I've hidden the nav bar, right? So how do I control it? You've got 2 options. You can either use Pi that comes with this ROM, or if you don't turn it on, you can see here I've got Pi. If I go ahead, guys, and quickly turn off Pi by going back a few pages, Pi controls, turn these off, you'll now see what happens or how I navigate around. You can see if I pull it forward, my nav bar just appears. I mean, how cool is that? And it works just as normal, disappears after a timeout, and you can change the stuff like timeouts and all that sort of thing if you want. But nav bar is gone, you just drag it up or click and it's back. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but if you don't want Pi and you want your nav bar but you want it to disappear sometimes, this is going to be a fantastic option for you. So we'll just dive back into that and turn it off to make it easier. Hidden nav bar timeout, that's what I was talking about, guys. Drag handle width, so you can make it larger to drag it up or not. Configure widgets as well, so you can do some of that stuff there. Moving on, navigation ring. This is the Google Now thing, guys. So when you drag it up, you've got Google Now. You can add different targets. So if you want, I don't know, Facebook or Twitter, you can have that there as a quick target. Moving on to status bar options. Pretty standard stuff here, guys. Quick settings options, toggle setup, toggle style. There's loads of different stuff you can have here, guys. Toggles per row. So this is changing this bit that we're talking about here, guys. If you check toggle setup, you can see you can change toggles. You can add more, move them around, do whatever the hell you want. You can set this up however you want, guys. Enable fast toggle, overrides default behavior. This is, I guess, before when the toggles didn't work. If you click it, it wouldn't work, but now it does, so you don't really need to mess around with that option. Moving on, clock options, pretty standard stuff here. You got the clock settings, AM, PA style. You can move it into the middle. You can move it to the left if you want. You can change the actions as well. Let's move on to something a little bit more interesting. Battery options, guys, pretty standard stuff. I'm not going to go through that. Signal options the same. You've also got the LED options here, which is, again, a really cool feature. You have to accept it and super use it, which does come with it, by the way, guys. And now you can do whatever the hell you want with your LED. So if you want a certain app to do something, you can click it, change the color, and add an app here. So whatever the hell you want, you can. I don't have any apps on here at the moment, but if you wanted Facebook to be red or blue, you could do that. You could change how long the LED will be on for, how long it will be off for, how long it will be quick for. So for example, if we just let's just change this to 1.5, test LED, turn the screen off. You can see it's red there, and it's actually on for 1.5 seconds, which is why it's slow. If we change that, for example, to 0.5 seconds, change this as well to 1 second, it should go nuts basically. And you can see there it's a lot faster than it normally is. You can make that nuts, you can make it faster, slower, whatever the hell you want. You can change this to 0.2 and it'll just go nuts. And again, you can see if I turn it off there, Don't know how much extra battery power that'll take, but nonetheless, if you want it like that, you can have it. So yeah, sound settings, guys. Enable volume panel, less frequent notification sounds, all the different stuff you've got. Phone call silence, flip your phone to start, flip your phone to silent when receiving a call. A nice feature to have, again, headphones plugged in action, guys. So when you've got it plugged in, you can change what you want the thing to do. Face down audio mode, really cool options here. There's so many different options to go through. I kind of have to rush through them, but this ROM is really impressive. Move on, you've got a theme chooser here. You've got, like I said, it does come with a custom kernel. It's pretty much the stock kernel with a few modifications. MP decision is gone, so when you have a proper minimum, instead of when you hold the screen, it jumps up to a minimum of 1 gigahertz. It doesn't do that now because MP decision is gone, which in my opinion is great. You've got your different governors here. You've got your different I/O schedulers. Obviously, you can flash Trinity or Franco or anything you want. You've got a few different options here as well. You can see your time and state there. Deep sleep, pretty damn well. And you've got your info about your CPU as well. Moving on, you've got profiles, guys. So if you're at work, you can change it to work and make everything silent or vibrate only, stuff like that. Developer options, this just makes, all the developer options you have. Some stuff's already set by default, like USB debugging notify, all that sort of stuff is already set. So you can turn it off if you don't want it. No problems there. And yeah, pretty much, guys, that's it. You can see how it's different. You've obviously got quiet hours here from CM. So if you want to turn these on and make it quiet at night, for example, you don't want any notifications past 10 o'clock, you can set that and nothing will come through. Mute phone ringtones, disable vibrations, disable notification light, all that sort of stuff you can have. So you can see what I mean by pretty much all the options are on here, guys, and the ROM is still very, very fast and smooth. It's probably not going to be as fast as Raspberry Jelly or anything like that, but it has a hell of a lot of customization options. And I'm sure I've probably missed some here, guys, but yeah, I'm very impressed with the ROM. I love how it's set out here. It's set out completely different. The settings look different to how it normally looks. It's a nice change. So yeah, guys, to conclude, the ROM is actually very, very cool. It's got a hell of a lot of customization options. If you want a ROM with all sorts of options, this is going to be a really good one for you. It is kind of new. Does have some bugs that have been talked about in the forums, but nothing major that I've seen. Everything's working, like the camera and all that stuff. And I really, really like the fact that you can have the nav bar on and off at the same time. And I'll show you that again. You can hidden nav bar enable, click that, change the drag handle width to make it a bit easier for you. And now the nav bar is gone, so you can have a full screen effect. But when you want it, you can drag it back up and then it'll disappear after a certain timeout. So say you want to go home, done, it then disappears again. You've got a full screen effect. You can bring it back up whenever the hell you want it. So it's a nice alternative to Pi, which again, you do have here, Pi controls. All sorts of stuff, so you can turn that on, and when you turn it on, it automatically does turn on Pi, and there you go. You've got the cool Pi feature with the notifications and all that stuff. You've also got all the customization here, guys, with Pi. You can change whatever the hell you want there, and also you can change the colors. So yeah, you've got all the options on this ROM, and you can see what I mean here. It's an awesome ROM. I really think you should test it out if you're into customization. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. That's the E.L.E. Extinction Level Event ROM. See you guys later.